What's up guys, Speed here, and today we're going to be going over 5 heroes that will get buffed and 5 heroes that are inevitably going to get nerfed. Because honestly, I don't know, I feel like a patch is coming soon. At least I want one, so maybe this is just me hoping there's a patch coming soon. But regardless, I just want to talk about heroes that are right now and just need a little bit of help because, I don't know, they feel pretty miserable. And then some heroes that are just still too, like, it feels bad when you can just first pick these heroes and feel like it's good every single game. I don't think Dota wants to be like that, and therefore they will get nerfed. First off, let's start with the buffs. This pro guide you're about to see is one of hundreds just like it over at gameleap.com. Gameleap is your #1 stop to become a specialist in your desired role fast. Check us out today with the discount link in the description below to unlock your hidden potential, but for now, let's hop into the video. Coming in at #1 is Stalker. Why do I think this hero is going to get buffed? Even though, you know, it's picked here and there. It's definitely like a relatively popular pub hero because it's kind of easy to play. But it just can't farm. Like, this hero just can't shove a wave for its life. It's actually one of those offlaners that if you fall behind, you actually just stay in the dumpster the whole game. And it feels really bad. If you don't have high tempo heroes to go with you, it's hard to kill anyone. I frankly don't even think you do that much DPS. Like, you might be like, oh, but Max Slaughter Bash destroys the enemy. But, I mean, does it really, though? Like, I've seen multiple times, right? Like, the Slaughter just can't kill anyone because he didn't dominate his lane. The only decent thing about Slaughter is that he can dumpster some heroes in a 1v1. But, like, other than that, I don't know. The Axe is pretty good by all means, but I think this hero is going to get a slight buff to his stun. I think it's just an abysmal ability, but at the same time that scares me because if his stun gets buffed too hard, this hero probably will become top meta. So we'll see the fine line that it plays, but I think there's going to be at least a slight buff to either his sort of bad talents. If we look at them, it's at level 10 you have 25 damage or 8 health, and you don't really need DPS. I mean straight damage on Slaughter, as you'd much prefer some attack speed so that you can just bash people. And HP regen is like, it's okay. It's not bad by any means. It's alright though. And 15, you get 350 health or 75 bash damage, which is like, meh. This hero needs like some GPM at 10. That would be nice, I think. That's what I'm calling GPM at 10 for Slaughter. Let's go. Coming in at #2 is Disruptor. I feel bad for him. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen him at all lately, and I'm kind of missing him, you know? I just remember the old days where I'd be pushing mid, and then even if I was like a gajillion units away, I would still get pulled back to my inevitable doom. It was kind of nice, right? It's like a roller coaster. But in all seriousness, like, this hero's attack range is really high, which is kind of bizarre, but it is. His attack range is high, and he's good at harassing. The problem is, like, sometimes it feels like you lack something. Like, I don't know what it is, but, like, you just lack something occasionally. Maybe it's having a hard stun, or, like, not having a hard stun, and not having that hard of an early laning stage spike is what holds him back. But I don't know. I hope this hero gets buffed. Maybe, I'm gonna guess that, like, the early levels of Glimpse will get buffed because 60 seconds is ridiculous for how kind of meh it is at level 1. I think they should reduce the numbers to like 40, 30, 20, 10. Okay, not 10. that was an awful idea. But something where, you know, Glimpse is actually sort of viable in the early game, or at least a little bit better. Next up, we have the notorious Earth Spirit. I don't know why he's notorious, but I'm making him notorious. Yeah, honestly, I tried to play this hero support. Feels trash. Like, I don't know. It's sad because you ulti once in a team fight, you use most of your boulders to keep it refreshed, and then you just have no boulders, and you can't have impact for the next, like, 3 to 4 minutes. Why? Like, why? What hero just can't have impact for that long? It's really sad. You're not that strong early on. You can't dive mid because of how far up the tower is, so, like, your options are not great because you're not that good in lane. You're very mediocre in lane. And then there's this dilemma where if you take a point in silence, I don't even know how to explain this hero. It's just like, he doesn't lane that well. You can't go on mid. Maybe, actually, one thing I feel like I want to call to some extent is that next patch, they are going to move mid tower back again? Maybe? Because for a while, we haven't seen anything like duelating mid or like reliably any roaming heroes, which is kind of sad because I think a lot of people like the roaming meta. Maybe not as many as I think, but it's definitely fun to watch, so I'm going to call that out. Maybe that'll be the Earth Spirit buff, because it really is his strength, the ability to punish mid, but it's so hard this patch in every recent patch. It's a tough world out there. Next up is Nature's Prophet. Now, I only put this on the list for solely personal reasons. This is my favorite hero, and honestly, IceFrog, please, man. It's so bad. Like, yes, the hero's playable, yeah, but, I mean, the Treants actually do 5 damage. If a melee hero gets a Stout Shield proc, 5 damage? 5? 5 actually does 5 damage. It's so unbelievably mediocre in the laning stage. It's like any hero can trade with Prophet at level 1 right now. You're not even that strong at level 1, which used to be kind of what he was good at. I don't know, like, what do you pick Prophet for right now? He doesn't even lane that well. It's not like he's the best ganker in the game. He doesn't have some broken team fight. He has good, decent team fight, but not broken team fight. And you can't even take any buildings. Like, it's almost impossible to split push with how tanky structures feel. So something's gotta give. I need my man back. Next up is Veno Jungle. So Veno Jungle obviously deserves a huge buff. It might even get nerfed though, we'll see. But it's just so potent. But moving on, hopefully I've triggered you and received your dislike after that. But in all seriousness, we have Lone Druid. Can anyone actually play Lone Druid? I'm pretty sure they're just gonna make him like not so a Lone Druid, because like using the bear is so hard. I actually think it's like some of the hardest micro in the game. And maybe that sounds crazy, but just having to switch between 2 things with multiple abilities, like, it's one thing to have a Lycan creep that has only 1 ability, but then a bear that has 3, right? Like, you have to cast 3 different abilities, and Phase Boots, and use Mask of Madness if you buy it, and Midas, or, like, depending on what you purchase, obviously. It's so hard, and it doesn't feel like the payoff's there. Like, once again, his laning stage is meh. If you die, your game is just really scarily bad. If you die once and don't have a bear, it becomes a real nightmare very quickly. And then Spirit Link is like, it feels like it's always on cooldown. Like, the duration is 12 seconds less than the cooldown. It's so awkward to use it to farm and fight, right? You want to use it to farm, but you don't know if a fight's about to break out, and you're like, oh, guess I won't use it to farm, because it's only 10 seconds, which is really, really short. It is a good ability, by all means. It's really strong, but it's so hard to use. Like, this hero is unbelievably unfriendly to anyone that hasn't played hundreds of games of it, which, I mean, is okay to some extent, but no joke, I think Invoker's easier than Lone Druid. And yeah, let's now move on to the heroes that are going to get nerfed, which some you can probably already predict. Like, I have to mention a couple. And so first off is Night Stalker. So, I mean, just to give my 2 cents on Night Stalker, I think this hero was not that bad previous to the buff. It just kind of got everyone's attention, and it enabled this Axe very hard, and by all means it makes his laning stage much better, which was a big lacking of him in the previous patch. So yes, the buff, which gave him back full damage on Void in the daytime, was massive. I'm not going to disagree with that. It allows him to fight, farm, and lane. Absolutely huge. But he just scales so well, and I think he has like a top talent tree in the game. You have like a gajillion strength at level 15. You get 200 health and strength. At level 20, you get 50 damage, which is obviously unbelievably good with 90 attack speed from Hunter of the Night. And then you pair that with 140 Hunter in the Night attack speed, or even 40-second Dark Ascension cooldown. Ugh. And then, like, it's just so awkward to play against him late game, because he just puts this AoE silence down and ruins every support's game. Also, it's like has this weird linger effect where it's almost clunky to play around. Like, Crippling Fear, maybe it's just me, but it honestly feels clunky. Like, sometimes I force stuff away from it and it feels like I'm still dead. I actually don't fully get it. It's almost like how like Disruptor ult used to linger, or maybe it still does by a little bit. I honestly don't know because I haven't seen the hero much. But I don't know. Crippling Fear is just disgusting. Your ultimate gives so much damage, and the True Sight, the AoE Flying Vision is, or whatever the vision is called, is just so bonkers. It's so hard to play against. This hero has like very little flaws in my opinion. Kind of same thing with Mirana, and that's the next point. You have so many options with this hero. It's like, if your lane's not going well, arrow a couple jungle creeps and like try to get a kill mid. If you can't lane well with, like, let's say your offlaner picks Timbersaw, just go tri-lane and get a gajillion kills there with any sort of follow-up stun or slow, which most lanes are going to have at least one of them. You're just so broken in tri-lanes, in my opinion, and then your ability to have a lot of teamfight impact with Starfall be probably top 3 hardest supports to kill in the game, because leaps are just obnoxious. And then Moonlight Shadow, which forces everyone to be depressingly underfarmed, because you have to carry dust on 18 heroes, and even if it's late game, then everyone's permanently invis. I swear that talent needs to just be straight removed. Moonlight Shadow can 100% game leap off a bridge, because that spell plus the talent making it a 18-second duration and a 30-second cooldown, meaning you're only not invis for 12 seconds at a time, is absurd. Plus it gives you movement speed. I think they're going to take out the movement speed for Moonlight Shadow at minimum. Everyone should not run at 15% faster. Why is everyone going 15% faster? I don't even think a lot of people knew you ran 15% faster, but you do, right? As long as you're invisible, you're just booking it. Lightning McQueen. Moving on, we have Jarrah. He got nerfed by 0.1 on his Aghanims, and that was it. He's so flexible mid. He like loses almost no matchups mid. I actually can't think of one. I don't know what he loses. I'm trying to think of one. I don't know. And even if you don't do well in the lane, you just destroy the side lanes with Rocket Barrage. It's so hard to fight into. Yeah, so I think Jarrah is definitely going to get nerfed. I think he's a top tier mid still because of his flexibility and ability to have impact regardless of how the lane goes. Even though, you know, his laning is good, his base attack time is bonkers. It's actually like you have like Clink strafe on all the time with Jarrah's attack speed. It's crazy in the lane. You can get 2 auto attacks before like someone gets off 1. It's crazy. So yeah, I think his numbers are just going to get nerfed a bit, and most likely, I don't want to see Rocket Barrage get nerfed. I'm going to say they're probably going to nerf his ulti by a slight margin, and then maybe the homing missile, just so his laning stage is a bit worse. Yeah, that's my hot take. I'm going to leave it at that. Funny enough, I actually think Shen might get nerfed again. I don't know for sure, but that would have to be like the most patches in close succession, right? Obviously, I don't think he's been nerfed every patch, but in close succession of a hero getting nerfed. But still, like, is Chen that bad? He still just makes death bowling pretty easy and gives you a solid laning stage. So, kind of funny enough, I'm not kidding. I think Chen might get nerfed again. I don't know. And then finally, the last one that will get nerfed is Position 5 Jungle Axe. So, if you guys aren't familiar with Position 5 Jungle Axe, it currently has an 80% win rate, and it also has an 80% chance to actually get you 5 reports, so it's pretty unbelievably broken. I don't understand why everyone's not using it at this time. It's basically free MMR, so if you haven't tried it out or you don't know what I'm talking about, you can just you know, shoot me a PM and I'll give you the lowdown for only $8.99 per month. I'll tell you exactly how to play Position 5 Jungle Axe. But going back to the actual video, even though, you know, that will happen, I'm not kidding. Void is going to get nerfed again. The hero's win rate is still, you know, he's chilling up there, and it just still feels flexible. I don't know what you actually do to nerf Void. I gave my suggestions in the last time I talked about this hero, but in general, it feels like it's one of the better laners in the game still. And with this Mjolnir build, you do a lot of damage. You have very good wave clear because you can use the shield to push in waves. You're very hard to kill, and you provide team fights. So it's like, where does Void kind of lack? And it's mostly in his lacking of ability to fight without Chrono early game, but like late game, even if you don't have Chrono, you still do a ton. Time dilation is just gross to play against. It straight up deletes, and I mean deletes certain heroes. It feels like a second ultimate in games against specific heroes like Invoker. Have you played Invoker against Void? You actually move at like 1 movement speed if you get hit by a time dilation mid-fight. It makes no sense. And same thing for Timber. Like, I like playing Timber. If I get time dilated, I'm just like, I'm a literal easy bot for the next 5 minutes. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, that's the end of my rant. Go check out Position 5 Jungle Axe. Made a video on it, so it's really hype. And yeah, hopefully you can let me know if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying here. If there's any hero you hope that gets buffed, because, you know, I gave my personal take with Prophet. I got my fingers crossed. I'm hoping for the best, so let me know if you're hoping for the best for some hero in particular as well. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video, and peace.
Are you tired of being hard stuck at your rank? Over at gameleap.com, we have a library of hundreds of guides authored by pro players and coaches covering literally every aspect of Dota. Whether you're looking to master a new hero or role, or just polish up your existing skills, Gameleap is the proven place for competitive gamers to hone their craft and unlock their secret potential. Hit the link on screen right now to take advantage of our special offer for a 25% discount, guys. 25%, and start your journey today.